A man opened fire at a video game tournament in Jacksonville after he lost a game.
The killer has been identified as 24-year-old David Katz out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Remembering John McCain, a brand new push to honor the late senator and American war hero.
On Wednesday, his casket will be brought to the state capitol building where he will lie in state for public viewing.
Brand new reporting from Axios lays out the potential probes that Democrats will likely pursue if they flip the House.
That list is terrifying, and that is the Democrats' dream and anyone interested in liberty's worst nightmare.
The U.S. and Mexico could reach a new deal on NAFTA as soon as today.
We're going to either make it good or we're not going to have it. And we're getting very close to getting something I think that's going to be very fair.
He's the president of the United States, and you have to respect the office.
Do you have anything more broadly to say about the state, I guess, the discourse of race relations?
No, I just finished 72 holes and really hungry.
Tiger Woods had a good answer. They were asking him some questions, and he said, look, I just played a lot of golf. I'm starving.
Well, he did, but he answered the question 4 times. He's like, you got to respect the office. I've known Donald for 20 years. They played golf together just a few months ago.
Right.
So they just kept asking him the same question. Well, LeBron James said this. LeBron James said that. How do you feel? Listen, what do you want me to do?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry, and I respect the office. So
I think people respect that answer.
And Jim Brown, the legendary running back, says not only because I know it's not going to make me popular in the black community, but I'm voting for Donald Trump. I voted for him in 2016. I'm voting for him in 2020. So good luck.
We're going to give you some more of the context regarding what Tiger said in New Jersey yesterday. But could we be on the verge of a new deal? There are reports out, and in fact, the president has kind of telegraphed it because he was tweeting, we're on the verge of something. We could have a new NAFTA deal, not with Canada and Mexico, but maybe with just Mexico as early as later today.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And by the way, Mexico has been really a fair negotiator in this deal, I think, and putting the pressure on Canada. So the deal will come with Mexico first, then we'll move to Canada. Mexico's a very important trading partner for so many
Well, it's a trilateral deal, and Mexico has had an election. So we have one outgoing government, one incoming government. Right. The governments are working together to get a deal before they transition. If it doesn't get done in the next few weeks, it's start from zero again.
Right.
So I really think there's a push. Guess who's watching? Canada.
Of course.
Canada's going, wait a second, this is getting
We
done.
want in on this deal.
And then there's going to be pressure on Canada to come aboard. They're talking about automobiles, they're talking about manufacturing, and they're talking about wages.
And dairy.
Right.
Exactly.
And lumber.
It sounds like the sticking point has been the sunset rule where if after 5 years things aren't going well, we could just punt that. It sounds like they are negotiating on that. Nonetheless, the president said a couple of days ago, this is the only soundbite we've got him talking about this. Here he is out in Ohio.
People forget NAFTA was a disaster. I mean, does anybody remember? They emptied out entire states. You go up to New England, you go up to parts of Ohio and other places, and you'll see factories that, left many years ago because of NAFTA. It's a terrible deal. We're going to either make it good or we're not going to have it. And we're getting very close to getting something I think that's going to be very fair.
NAFTA passed 24 years ago. I remember Ross Perot saying, I hear a giant sucking sound coming from Mexico.
Jobs.
And there go our jobs. That's what the president's referring to. Hey, listen, prices came down, but a lot of jobs left.
But there are companies coming back, manufacturing companies, the companies that the Democrats said were gone forever. They're coming back, and this deal with Mexico, that will be another mark on the president's column of things I promised and accomplished.
Well,
people didn't think this could happen.
You're right, Rachel. The whole idea right now is for the United States and Mexico to come up with a deal by the end of August, and we're almost there. And then once that's done, then Mexico and the United States will stand side by side and say, okay, Canada, you're next. Come on, let's make a deal.
Meanwhile, at 4 minutes after the hour, we have a Fox News alert. The hunt for clues spanning more than 750 miles. Get this. This after a man opens up fire at a video game tournament, Madden 19, they called it, in Jacksonville.
Heavily armed agents raiding the suspect's home in Baltimore, Maryland overnight. The 24-year-old is accused of killing 2 and injuring nearly a dozen before turning the gun on himself and killing himself.
Phil Keating is live at the scene in Jacksonville with the very latest. Phil?
Yeah, the gamers traveled all over the country to come for this qualifying competition for the Madden Championship Series. The winner here will be able to go to Las Vegas to compete for $200,000. Among the restaurants and bars inside the Jacksonville Landing, a very popular entertainment complex, is the Good Luck Have Fun gaming bar. And yesterday, all of the fun dramatically turned to panic about 1:30 in the afternoon.
Got a lot of good games going on.
It's a lot. It's going to be hard to get them on stream. It's
not
a lot.
It's not a tough out today. Excuse me, not an easy out. Oh.
And that's the sound of the gunfire as it was happening. It was being streamed live over the internet. There were about 50 people still competing on Sunday, so dozens of people suddenly fleeing that place. The suspect has been identified as David Katz, 24 years old. Not only did he shoot 2 people dead, he then also wounded 9 others before turning the handgun on himself. Apparently, the sheriff believes he brought that handgun with him. According to one witness, the motive here was that this guy lost, and then his losing turned to fury, and he started shooting. Back to you in New York.
Hey, Phil, I got a question for you. Because this was all live streamed on Twitch, which is one of the Amazon platforms. Is there, and at one point you can see one of the other gamers, there's a red laser dot on the guy's chest.
In fact, Steve, look at this cover of the New York Post. There's the laser dot right on his chest.
Is there some suggestion that this guy, the shooter from Baltimore, may have wanted to kill somebody live on the air?
It is peculiar that he would bring his concealed handgun into the gaming tournament. This kid, the 24-year-old David Katz, not a kid, he was pretty well known in the gaming community. He had been interviewed before by these online streams, and he thought he was a really good player. But in previous tournaments, he certainly didn't pull out a gun. So it's unknown, really, whether he was hoping to do this live on the internet.
I'm sure there's going to be some psychological things, indications. He evidently gets eliminated the day before the shooting, and he's wearing the same clothes the next day when he shows up, kills these people, and then shoots himself.
Well, and they interviewed some people who said that he seemed kind of like a weird kid. So we'll find out more.
All right.
Pam Bondi is going to be up next. She's the Florida Attorney General, and she's definitely going to fill us in.
She will. All right, Phil Keating, thank you very much for the live report. Meanwhile, you will see live coverage of the memorial services for John McCain all week long here on the Fox News channel. You know, when he was shot down in 1967, he was near death. And the POWs there at the Hanoi Hilton did not think he would make it, but he beat all odds, and he wound up with an amazing American story.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that can mirror these stories. I've seen so many biographies on him, documentaries on him, and I still find out something new almost every day. His mom, by the way, still survives at 105 years old, 106 years old, and that is also amazing, especially when you look at him after crashing into the pond and being brought to that bed. He would end up in prison for 5.5 years, 2+ years in solitary confinement.
Yeah. Yesterday, we actually had a POW who was at the Hanoi Hilton at the same time. I was hosting Fox and Friends Weekend, as you know, and it was interesting. He said the first person that this POW saw when it was released from his captivity was John McCain, and they were in this square, and he saw this guy just sort of hugging and talking and slapping people's back. They've just been released, and he thought to himself, that guy's going to be a politician. And boy, was he right.
Yeah.
Boy, was he right.
I remember when they came off the plane, a lot of them back in the 70s. And in fact, in the 70s, you guys are too young for this, but in the 70s.
That's when I was born.
they used to hand out these silver wrist bracelets, and you would have the name of a POW on them. And at my school in Kansas, John McCain's name was on a bunch of them, and I had one of them, and I told him about that story. Last time I saw him, he said, I did not know that.
Wow.
But a lot of
Beautiful
people were
story.
calling for John McCain. They didn't even know him back in the 70s. Now the world knows.
But they were familiar with him because his dad was an admiral, so there was a lot of talk. It got as high as up at the president at the time, and he could have gotten out early, as the story goes. But he said, no, that's the order in which you're captured. I'm not getting out if I'm not next. Meanwhile, at 9 minutes after the hour, Tiger Woods didn't have a great 4-day tournament, and he had a post-game press conference as he got a lot of questions about the Ryder Cup team. One of the questions from one of the journalists was about Tiger Woods' view on President Trump. Now, you might have thought you would open up for a rant like what came from LeBron James, but not from Tiger Woods, who says he's had known Donald Trump for 20 years, and they played golf a short time ago. Dare I say they like each other. Listen to Tiger Woods handle this question.
He's the president of the United States, and you have to respect the office. And no matter who's in the office, you may dislike personality or the politics, but we all must respect the office.
Do you have anything more broadly to say about the state, I guess, the discourse of race relations?
No, I just finished 72 holes and really hungry.
I don't blame him. So the setup question was, he was asked about his relationship with Donald Trump. Was it professional or personal? And that's why he gave the answer he did. Just like Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer and Gary Player and Phil Mickelson down at Trump Doral in Miami, I just read, Tiger Woods has a villa named after him.
Wow.
An homage by Donald Trump. And there you can see one of the images of them. I believe that is at Mar-a-Lago.
Well, you know, if you're an athlete, if you're a celebrity, if you are even neutral on Donald Trump, that's a really, tough question because you're going to get blowback from Hollywood, from other celebrities, from the media. So I think he handled it very respectfully. I thought it was very well done.
Because the reporter was asking, is he your friend or did you play with him because he's president? Essentially, that's the question.
And the other news is Jim Brown said it on Hard Knocks and said it again. I voted for the president once. I'm going to vote for him again in 2020. I know that doesn't make me very popular with the black community, but I don't care.
Let us know what you think about Tiger Woods' answer, and you can email that in to foxnews.com.
That's right. All right. It is 7:12 here in New York City, and we've got some headlines.
That's right. We're going to turn to some headlines, and we're starting with a Fox News alert. Iran says it has taken control of the Gulf and Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians previously threatened to block the major shipping route as tensions grow between the Middle Eastern nation and the U.S. Iran test-fired a ballistic missile in that area earlier this month. Candidates making their final pitch to voters today before critical primaries tomorrow. In Arizona, Congresswoman Martha McSally, former state Senator Kelly Ward, and former Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio are vying for the Republican nod for retiring Jeff Flake's seat. In Florida, Trump-endorsed Congressman Ron DeSantis squares off against Adam Putnam in the GOP primary for governor. And current Republican Governor Rick Scott is the favorite to win the Senate primary, setting up a showdown against incumbent Democrat Bill Nelson. Turning now to extreme weather, Tropical Storm Lane leaving Hawaii underwater. The Big Island slammed with more than 4 feet of rain and severe weather, causing dozens of landslides, one of them pushing a giant boulder onto a busy Hawaiian highway. Take a look. Dozens of people forced to evacuate their homes as officials warn of life-threatening flash flooding. Thousands are without power. And there's some good news for Hawaii, though. The team from the Aloha State are Little League World Series champions.
There you have it. Hawaii wins it. Noka Hawaii. Hawaii is the best.
Hawaii beating South Korea 3-0 to claim the title in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And those are your headlines.
All right. Thanks, Rachel. Meanwhile, Kevin McCarthy's waiting in the wings. Don't ask me how I know. I got that sense.
I can see him. He's right over my shoulder.
Okay.
Come on up,
so
sir.
So ask me.
You're the next contestant on Fox and Friends.
The majority leader.
Oh, thank you.
After World War II, Hitler's deadliest lieutenant escaped. 15 years later, he was found.
We'll get him back here alive.
Discover the incredible true story of Operation Finale.
For the sake of the world, do not fail.
Operation Finale, rated PG-13.
The closer you get to home, the more you know the commute is worth it. You and that John Deere tractor. You can keep dreaming up projects all the way home. It's a longer drive, But just like a John Deere, it's worth it.
Omar, look. Omar, check this out. Hi, yeah, I was calling to see if you do laser hair removal for men. Notice that my hips are off the ground? And then I'm gonna pike my hips back into downward dog. Hey, the rain stopped.
A bad day on the road still beats a good one off it.
Tell me about that dinner procedure again. I can still taste it in my mouth.
Progressive helps keep you out there.
If you need a ride across town, well, there's an app for that. What about if you need help with small chores around your house? Well, now there's an app for that too. The Tackle app connects you with background check providers that are standing by to help you with dozens of chores like house cleaning, yard work, junk removal, and much more. All jobs are pre-priced, so there's no waiting for appointments, no estimates, and no negotiating. Download the Tackle app for free or go to tackle.com. That's Tackle. Leave nothing undone.
Every time I smiled, I had to cover my mouth because I was so ashamed. When the denture slipped, I would have to excuse myself and go to the restroom virtually in tears. It kept me from being able to speak properly. I could not eat corn, apples, baby back ribs. I did not want dentures to be part of my life. I pretty much decided dental implants were the route I was going to take.
Let's do a head-to-head comparison of dental implants versus dentures. With dentures, the ability to taste food, to bite and chew is altered. The worst thing about dentures, bone loss. When you put an implant inside the bone, which is like the root of a tooth, now you preserve the bone. It's a game changer. With implants, you walk into a restaurant, you order anything you want. You eat just like you have real teeth.
Before you knew it, here I was with my brand new teeth.
Schedule your free consultation today. We'll even talk about financing options.
I can smile, my confidence is back.
Call Clear Choice today.
At Visiting Angels, we're all about family. So when it's time for your mom or dad to get the care they deserve, we're here to help. We'll work with you to select the right caregiver and craft a custom plan that fits your loved one's needs and gives you the peace of mind you're looking for. We know you want the very best for your loved ones. So begin your home care journey today by contacting Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care.
At Bear, our roots run deep. So chances are you've seen us around the house, or around the yard, on the shelf, or even out in the field. Your mom knew she could always count on us, and your grandma did too. Because for over 150 years, we've been right by your side, advancing the health of the people, plants, and pets you love. So from all of us at Bayer, thank you for trusting in us, then and now.
Fox News Channel on Sirius XM. Your favorite shows on Channel 114. Plus, every story, every 15 minutes. Fox News headlines 24/7. Channel 115.
You know what? I know Labor Day is not here yet, but midterms are just around the corner, and Republicans are in a battle to keep control of the House. A lot's at stake. So what do they need to do to keep a majority in Congress? Let's ask a guy whose task it is to do just that. Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who wants to be the next speaker. First off, the Wall Street Journal did a poll, and they asked people what's their preference in terms of control of Congress. 50 to 42, they want the Dems. How do you beat that?
Well, that changes week to week. If you go back 2.5 weeks ago, it was +3 for the Democrats. If that's +6 or less, we'll keep the majority. Now remember this, history is against us, meaning the party in power, the party that gets the White House, normally loses seats by 30 on the off year. But the last party in power that had a GDP over 4%, they actually gained. And the difference is what this whole election is going to be about. It's going to be results versus resistance. The last time we had unemployment like this, tremendous. Think of this. In the last 49 years in America, unemployment's only been below 4% 8 months. 8 months in 49 years. And 3 of those 8 months was this year. Not one Democrat voted for that tax bill. So all this economic growth, they don't get any credit for it.
And right now we know this, that Democrats feel in many cases that their ticket to success could be vilify the president. If you look at what happened last week, if you look at some of the movements in the House in terms of impeachment, the votes that have already taken place, But the Wall Street Journal does a poll. He started the week with 46% approval rating, which is pretty high.
Yes.
And then you have, even though the disapproval is at 51, and then after the week from hell with his doorman, with his, with the guy from the Inquirer, with his attorney, it drops just to 44%. So if you want to vilify the president, that might not be the Democrats' ticket to success.
That's why it's results versus resistance. Everything you just talked about was about Donald Trump years ago, nothing of what he's done in presidency. Look at what he has accomplished so far. One of the strongest economies ever. And it's not just for one segment of the economy. If you're African American, Hispanic, one of the best places you've been. But look what he's done with the VA. Put the very best people moving forward, get the bad people out. The GI Bill now is for a lifetime, not just 15 years.
Right.
I've been to 24 states just in this month alone campaigning for people. What I'm hearing out there is a whole different story. They can attack him all they want, but this president has proven results.
10 seconds. The president wants to nationalize this election, make it about him. Should he? Or should we just remember Clinton pulled back when he tried doing that. Other presidents pulled back. Should he stay out there?
I think it's hard to do in an off-presidential year. I think you should lay out exactly what were the results that the Republicans have been able to accomplish, but what would the Democrats do if they got the majority? They would abolish ICE. They would impeach the president. They already tried twice. And they would end Medicare as we know it.
But, Kevin, great to see you.
Great to see you.
He's a very busy guy. Still ahead is social media silencing conservatives. Jim Hansen just told us he's been shadow banned on Twitter. Charlie Kirk, live next.
Here's your Buick, sir. Actually, that's my Buick.
Your Buick doesn't have a roof rack. This is my Buick.
How are we gonna fit in your mom's Buick?
Easy.
I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises. Get 18% below MSRP on most 2018 Encore models when you finance through GM Financial. Or get over $5,400 below MSRP on this Envision Preferred.
Stop fearing your alarm clock with new ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with melatonin that supports your natural sleep cycle, so you can seize the morning. New ZzzQuil Pure Z's.
We knew Angie's List had reviews of home pros.
But so do lots of websites.
I didn't want to pay.
Then I found out it's free. Wait, it's free?
Free to check ratings, read reviews.
And they'll even match your project with a few qualified pros for the job.
Go to angieslist.com today.
Imagine a shirt that actually makes you feel better. Introducing Tommy Copper's all-new shoulder-centric support shirt. Their biggest breakthrough yet. Advanced engineering promotes healthy posture and relief for achy shoulders and back. Visit TommyCopper.com to see the entire line of wearable wellness compression. They have you covered from head to toe. Go to TommyCopper.com right now and save 30% on the new shoulder shirt for a limited time only. Life hurts. Feel better.
Oh, good, you're awake.
Finally.
You're still here.
Come on, Denise. We're Voya.
We stay with you too and through retirement.
With solutions to help provide income throughout.
I get that Voya's with me through retirement. I'm just surprised it means in my kitchen.
Oh.
So that means no breakfast?
I said there might be breakfast.
I was really looking forward to breakfast.
But we can
Voya, helping you to
and through
retirement.
Keeping faith in the president? After the Cohen bombshell, are evangelicals still supporting Trump? Pastor Robert Jeffress breaks it down with Shannon. Next, Fox News at Night.
This is not a bed. It's a revolution in sleep. The new Sleep Number 360 smart bed is on sale now from $8.99 during Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable. It even helps with this. So you wake up ready to put your pedal to the metal. And now all beds are on sale. Save 50% on the new Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus 24-month financing on all beds, only for a limited time. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep.
I was right out of college and I was starting job interviews and I already noticed that my teeth were starting to shift. When I heard of Smile Direct, I was so excited.
Let Smile Direct Club give you a smile you'll love for 60% less than braces by sending invisible aligners direct to you. Plus, we straighten most smiles in an average of 6 months.
So convenient. You don't have to go to an orthodontist every month. You can go into a Smile shop. They also have a kit that they can ship directly to your house. There's really no excuse to not try it.
Get started for 60% less at SmileDirectClub.com.
Check your watch. I believe you have the same time as me. It's time for News by the Numbers. First, 99. That's how many pounds of cocaine a canine found stuffed inside pineapples, the forbidden fruit, discovered in packages heading from Costa Rica to New Jersey. And I'm going to walk now. 800 pounds. That's next. The weight of these stolen lemons. A California man striking a sour note. Get it? With this unusual haul, swiped from a farm. Cops busted the 69-year-old alleged citrus thief during a traffic stop. No word on why he needed so many lemons. I'll follow that story. So will others. And finally, $4.4 million. That's how much this 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO sold for at auction. The two-seat coupe originally cost $18,000. Only 36 of them were made between 1962 and 1964. The second highest bid, Chris Chulo behind camera 6.
$48 million. I wonder what the gas mileage is. Meanwhile, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey on defense as his social media site is accused of shadow banning conservatives. Moments ago, we spoke to a guest who claims they shadow banned him.
What makes you think you shadow banned?
Well, I am. Right now, conservatives and Republican candidates are disproportionately affected by this limiting of their exposure. We want Twitter to fix it. We just want a level playing field so the best ideas can win.
Here to weigh in, Fox News contributor and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. Charlie, welcome. So I'm not even going to debate whether conservatives are being shadow banned or censored on social media. I believe it, and I think there's enough evidence out there. My question to you, and you're a young guy, why aren't more conservatives, especially young people, inventing another platform? I mean, there's clearly a market for it. You speak to the president. If just one person, Donald Trump, left, that would probably hurt the bottom line for Twitter.
Totally. Look, the left is making their big move before the midterms. This is their great offensive to try to silence differing opinion. And make no mistake, it's not because the conservative voices are offensive. It's because they are effective. They are going after some of the most highly engaged, popular conservative voices out there that speak hard truths. Now, some would say controversial, but wait a second. Why are they not getting rid of voices like Louis Farrakhan or some of the ISIS-linked accounts? Instead, you see these tech giants collude together. You see Twitter, Facebook, and Apple and Google all in the same day delist conservative voices. And it's because they're afraid of the effectiveness of these conservative voices. We need to push back because it could be a huge, huge problem moving forward.
Well, you know what? And you are pushing back. But Charlie, look at these, we heard about Diamond and Silk. We've heard about different people who have been, essentially shut down or throttled to where they get no traffic. If these social media giants are doing them, they're not doing it very well because everybody's onto them because they can chart it. They can look at a gauge and they can say, okay, I had 3 million yesterday and then I had 0. And it looks like I'm being silenced.
Right. And so, for example, Prager University shined a really important light on this just a couple weeks ago, where their reach went from a couple million to 0. And Leader McCarthy has been shining a very, very important light from a congressional side. But you make a great point. This is not good for business. They're going to disenfranchise half of America if they continue on this path. But the very bottom line is the left hates the idea that there are other ideas. And they control these public forums or these vehicles of conversation. They're going to use every piece of power and influence they can to try to suppress our voice. And we cannot stand for it.
Meanwhile, Charlie, you say that Trump is giving hope to young people. Explain.
Look, during the Obama years, we were complaining about youth unemployment being near 20%, student loan debt skyrocketing, and now we see the lowest youth unemployment in 50 years, wages going up. It's the best economy to be a recent college graduate. And thanks to the leadership of President Donald Trump, our generation has hope and optimism again, a lot different than that was promised under President Obama. But low taxes, less regulation, entrepreneurial friendly economy is very, very good for young people that are entering the workforce. And we should be thankful that we're able to live in this country at this time with this president has given the opportunity for our generation that was really, quite frankly, living in mediocrity under the previous administration.
So this generation is seeing the benefit of the Trump economy, you're saying. But Charlie, do they realize it's Donald Trump and the Republicans who gave them a tax cut and have lessened the regulations? Or are they just young people and they're like, yeah, this is great?
Well, so look, it's going to be up to us to make the compelling argument for the midterms and, of course, into 2020 that it is this president that has turned the economy around for young people, and that's why you are seeing more opportunity and higher wages and more jobs. And look, it's really interesting. The left is trying to take credit for this, and they said, well, this is the guy that's going to crash the economy. You can't have it both ways. If you are going to blame him for a crashed economy, you got to give him credit for the booming one. And ever since he took office, you have seen unemployment go to record low levels for black unemployment, Hispanic unemployment, youth unemployment, woman unemployment. Wages are going up, GDP growth. The first time in this century that the GDP rate is higher than the unemployment rate. Think about that for a second. 4.1 GDP growth, 3.9% unemployment rate. Remarkable numbers, and it's only getting better from here.
You only hear it if you're watching Fox. I watch the other networks sometimes, and I tell you, you'll never hear it there. Anyway, Steve.
They have a lot of interesting other stuff to talk about. All right, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, thanks for joining us today from LA.
You bet.
All right.
Thanks.
Meanwhile, it's been 1 year since she went on an anti-Trump tirade on Twitter. This morning, big news on what the future looks like for ESPN's Jameel Hill.
Plus, she won 3 Grand Slam titles, and now tennis pro Tracy Austin is here with a tennis lesson and some friendly competition. We're going to do that up next.
Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even vengeful vermin. Not so cute when they're angry. And we covered it. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Ha! That will never work.
Oh, no.
Ah.
A bulb of light.
A flying machine? Impossible.
A personal computer.
Smart neighborhoods running on a microgrid.
A stadium powered with solar. A hospital that doesn't lose power.
It's amazing.
I like it.
Never gonna happen.
Impossible. That will never work.
Never gonna happen.
Guys, is this you? Busting out of your pants? Out of shape? No energy or drive? Then you need Nutrisystem for men.
I'm Chris, and I lost 120 pounds on Nutrisystem.
I'm Essex, and I lost 43 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Lose up to 18 pounds and 8 inches overall in your first month. Money back guarantee. Real guys, real results. Put down the wings, pick up the phone, and get with the program today. Order your 28-day plan now and save 40% off every program. That's 40% off breakfast, lunches, dinners, and snacks. For a limited time, save 40%. Plus, get 1 week of all new NutriPro shakes, packed with 20 grams of protein to help shrink your gut, free.
The food was delicious.
I love the food. Pasta, pizza, so good.
Plus, we'll throw in FedEx shipping free.
It was perfect for guys like me who don't like to cook.
Lose up to 18 pounds and 8 inches overall in your first month.
It's simple. You eat the food, you lose the weight.
Go online or call 877-372-THIN and get free shakes plus 40% off every program.
I've been helping my mom manage her medication for about 2 years now.
My son told me about PillPack, and I've been taking it ever since. The pills are kept separately, and I know what I'm supposed to take each day.
PillPack allowed for my mom to stay in her home for a longer period, which is what she really wanted and what we all wanted.
My doctors see a difference in me taking PillPack. It feels very good.
Switch to a better pharmacy at pillpack.com today.
My name is J.D. Vance. I took a class from Judge Kavanaugh. He'd make a great Supreme Court justice because he hasn't just talked the talk. We've seen in his 12 years on the D.C. Circuit that he really walks the walk. He applies the law faithfully. He's fair to the clients and the litigants who come before him. Judge Kavanaugh bases his judgments on the law and the Constitution, not on who's well-connected. That to me is the hallmark of a judge who will be a Supreme Court justice for the entire country, not just for the connected few.
Yes, the Rocky music can only mean one thing. It's time to salute the business relationship between Fox Business and the U.S. Open.
Wait, and you're saying it's Rocky?
Yes, and if there's a fight going on because it's a battle.
That's right, and you will see that in a moment. It's just behind us, and it's getting warmed up. Tracy Austin is in the cage.
Right?
All
You calling me out?
I'm calling you out, buddy.
What do you think? I'm Chris Everett?
And we're not going to play Jack. And we're not going to play Jack.
She's yelling at me.
I know it. Hold your horses. We're going to get started with this in just a minute. But in the meantime, we've got a few headlines.
Hi, I'm Christina.
Switching gears. First up, shots fired at police chasing an alleged shoplifter in a crowded Walmart parking lot. Stop what you're doing and watch this. Look at that. Terrifying body cam footage shows the rookie officer confronting 23-year-old Charles Purvis as he walks through the Albuquerque store. You can see the gun in the suspect's hand. The officer, just 10 weeks out of the academy, did not fire back. Purvis was later arrested and nobody was hurt. Meanwhile, Trump-bashing ESPN host Jemele Hill is out as the network finally refocuses on strictly sports. The New York Post says the company will buy out her $2.5 million per year contract. Hill came under fire last year after calling the president a white supremacist. She was suspended, then moved to an off-air writing role. ESPN's president reportedly pushing the network away from political commentary. Hill is reportedly leaving next month. And a man's search for a new TV gets a bit heated. Did you see that? The California man's e-cigarette exploding in his pocket, burning his leg as he was shopping in Anaheim, California. It is unclear what caused the blast, but he was able to walk away on his own. And you should never drink and ride. A man riding his horse up to a California gas station, learning that lesson the hard way. The man was reportedly drunk when he went to dismount, and his horse started dragging him across the parking lot outside Sacramento. He was able to eventually get back up. And those are some of your headlines.
How long was that newscast?
It was a newscast.
It's unbelievable.
We're going to get to the tennis in a minute, but first we got to do the weather.
Hi. Well, let's take a quick look at the weather because we are still watching what's left of Hurricane Lane. By the way, a record breaker, the third wettest on record as far as tropical storms go. Over 40 inches, 48 inches of rainfall. Thankfully, this is just a tropical depression right now, but we're still seeing a flare-up of thunderstorms in and around the Hawaii area. So we'll keep that in mind. And of course, we have very hot, humid conditions across the East Coast with temperatures in the 90s.
Oh,
the 90s here for some tennis.
Yep, and that's our cue. Brian, come on over here.
Right, I cannot believe the chaos behind you. You're such a professional.
I know.
People are screaming. Tracy Austin's taunting.
You know, in tennis, a good partner can be key, and nothing showcases that better than the decade-long partnership between the Tennis Channel and Fox Business.
Which I teased wonderfully before. Here to tell us more about the partnership as Tennis Channel's analyst and two-time U.S. Open champion. She is nowhere near us right now.
Tracy Austin!
Tracy Austin is here.
Oh, my
Tracy,
gosh!
you were supposed to be next to us. We just introduced you.
Here, come on in.
What has happened to your
Brian,
professionalism?
are you going to get in here?
I don't know.
Are you going to get in here?
Great to see you.
Great to see
Steve,
you.
come on in. You're the tennis star.
Come on, Steve. We want to see your serve.
What about this 10-year relationship between business and
Tennis Channel?
What about that?
It's unbelievable. The reciprocal arrangement, we give you information, you give us information, and of course the U.S. Open starts today. So every morning at 8 o'clock, the Tennis Channel has a show recapping yesterday's matches, previewing today's, all the interviews, Hall of Fame announcers, Jim Courier, Martina Navratilova, Lindsay Davenport. Are you guys coming out to the Open?
Yes! Absolutely. My daughter actually bought us tickets, so that'll be great.
When are you coming?
Next Tuesday.
Awesome. And you know it's wide open as to who's going to win. Who do you think's going to win?
Well, I just think the best person's going to win.
But that's on the fence, Brian. On the fence.
I think Fox Business and the Tennis Network are both going to win.
They're going to win.
That's right.
So Tracy, what have you lined up for us today?
You have tips, right? I have tips. We're going to work on our serve here today. Is your rotator cuff warmed up?
All right. It hasn't been warmed up since '84.
Show us some tips.
Well, wait a second. We should also talk about who's out here. Lisa
We've got
Simonetti,
everybody.
Fox Business.
Joe Cassoni, they're going to be cheerleaders.
And Lauren Simonetti.
We need some balls. We need some balls.
So cheerleading is what I used to do. I'm not very athletic. I'm much better at cheerleading.
You're doing wonderful.
But I'm going to try this.
Her first ball went over the fence.
Okay,
and it was very good.
The idea here is we're seeing who can serve the ball the fastest, and we've got a radar.
Oh, really?
machine.
Okay. The pressure is on.
Okay.
Get it over right over there. And I'm shooting right for you.
Okay. Oh, yeah!
18
Okay,
miles
Tia, here we go.
an hour.
Don't we want the ball to go higher? Tracy,
Here we go.
shouldn't you be giving us tips?
We're being nice, Brian.
right.
Oh, yeah, it's a serve, right? Is it a serve?
Yeah, it's a serve.
Okay.
Reach up, reach up.
Okay.
Oh, try one more. That's what I did. That's what I did. Try one more.
Excuse me.
Here we go.
Do I get to do it again?
You are a tennis professional. Tell her how to throw the ball up. Tell her how to hit it. People want to learn.
Okay,
That was a home run.
Okay, reach up. Keep your head up a little longer. You pulled your head down. Eyes were down here. So reach up a little
Don't be
bit
so
longer.
nice. Yell at them.
Okay. Yell at them, Brian. Okay. He's giving me permission.
I'll try.
Up high. Come on, Janice.
Okay. Ready? All right.
Move over a little bit, because I'm a little nervous.
Janice.
Let's hope
Go,
for a home
Janice.
run.
Reach up. Yes!
Okay.
That was
15 miles an hour.
Is that good? What are you guys doing?
Petalini.
Okay, you guys are awfully good at criticizing. Brian, get in here. Let's see how fast.
I think the problem is I don't have a cute tennis outfit.
That's the problem.
Let's try to have only 5 people talking at a time.
Go, Nicole.
All right, Nicole Petalidis, here she
Don't get
goes.
hit.
Come on, Nicole.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, she sure does.
Wow.
This is not right.
Wait.
This says 11 miles an hour.
Let's try again. One more.
38.
Wait. Okay. I can't.
Oh, she knows what she's doing.
Come on, Christina. Let's go.
Okay.
That was 10.
Christina.
Christina's up. She's got a mean one.
Fox business.
There we go.
Yeah, that was good.
10. Looks like
Just a 10.
it looks as if
Nicole
Nicole
won.
Petalidis is the big winner.
Tracy Austin's the big winner.
So check it out. Tennis Channel and Fox
Everybody.
Business.
High fives. I think we're all great tennis players.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you. I've never seen Tracy Austin so hostile. I mean, this is unbelievable.
There you go. She's instructing.
I guess so.
All right. Meanwhile,
It's the media's favorite word to use when talking about President Trump.
Are impeachment proceedings now more likely than ever? Should that trigger the start of an investigation in the Judiciary Committee that could end up going to impeachment? Impeachment.
Our next guest warns all this impeachment talk could actually end up helping the GOP come the midterms.
and be on time or do the time. Students at one high school in Oklahoma could soon be fined or even go to jail for being late to class. What do people on the street think? I'm going to find out. Some of these folks are going to be on TV talking. Coming up next on Fox and Friends.
This sports update is brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of great deals like 0% financing for 60 months on the built Ford Tough F-150. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand. Get 0% financing for 60 months plus $2,800 bonus cash on a 2018 F-150 XLT equipped with 2.7-liter EcoBoost.
For those who are driven by purpose, who are building others instead of just wealth, giving back and never giving up, TIAA will help you live your definition of success. Whether you have $500 or $5 million. Investing, advice, banking, retirement. TIAA. Start today at TIAA.org.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritin and relief from symptoms caused by over 200 allergens, like those from Buddy. Because stuffed animals are clearly no substitute for real ones. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear.
Booking a flight at the last minute doesn't have to be expensive. Just go to Priceline. It's the best place to book a flight a few days before my trip and still save up to 40%. Just tap and go. For the best savings on flights, go to Priceline.
People with type 2 diabetes are excited about the potential of once-weekly Ozempic. In a study with Ozempic, a majority of adults lowered their blood sugar and reached an A1C of less than 7 and maintained it.
Under 7?
And you may lose weight. In the same one-year study, adults lost on average up to 12 pounds.
Up to 12 pounds?
A 2-year study showed that Ozempic does not increase the risk of major cardiovascular events like heart attack, stroke, or death.
No increased risk?
Ozempic should not be the first medicine for treating diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may happen, including pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase the risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
I discovered the potential with Ozempic.
Ask your healthcare provider if Ozempic is right for you.
Some Democrats and some of the media have a new favorite word when it comes to talk about President Trump. Watch.
Are impeachment proceedings now more likely than ever? Should that trigger the start of an investigation in the Judiciary Committee that could end up going to impeachment? Impeachment.
And while most Democrats are trying to tone down impeachment talk, some in the media are ramping up the rhetoric.
Almost hoping. In fact, impeachment was referenced 41 times during this morning's, during the Sunday morning shows, which was supposed to be all about John McCain. Here to weigh in is the Vice President of Business and Culture for the Media Research Center, Dan Gaynor. Dan, you know, it doesn't matter what you think. What works for the Democrats? To say it or not to say it and just do it?
Well, they certainly think not to say it is what works, except for the hardcore partisans, the Tom Steyers, the Ocasio-Cortez wing of the party. They want to say it and do it. The Nancy Pelosi wing, they don't want to have anything, they don't go anywhere near it because they know.
Why?
Republicans will turn out. If they know, let's be honest here. Democrats are going to impeach if they take the House. They're going to be forced to by their partisan base.
So should Republicans just keep encouraging this? I mean, it sounds like a good strategy. Tell them they're going to impeach Donald Trump, and if you don't get Donald Trump and the GOP Congress, you're going to get Nancy Pelosi and Elizabeth Warren and everything else that really hasn't helped the economy.
Well, it certainly is a good strategy, but I mean, ultimately, then that chips away. I think at some point there's a tipping point on the right as well, where it chips away at people's momentum, and you hear about it a lot. Maybe you start to buy into it. So I think it's a balancing act really for both sides.
Yeah, Tom Steyer has a big editorial today saying Republicans join the impeachment effort. Good luck with that. Just because he's rich, he thinks he can get people to follow him. So I'll just give you an idea. We're not just making this up. Look what the numbers say. On a day in which they were supposed to be saluting John McCain, NBC still managed to mention it 22 times, ABC 12, Fox 7, and CBS 0. So it's all because of the week from hell that President Trump had as they flip his doorman, they flip his friends in the media, they flip his former attorney, and of course they're trying to investigate his foundation, his company, emoluments clause in the Constitution. He is really under attack.
Well, he's been under attack. Remember, going back even before he took office, you had people calling for his impeachment. The left has been out to get him the whole time. One of our people had to endure watching a whole day of CNN and MSNBC, tallied up 222 examples in one day of them using impeachment. That's where they're at. And let's not kid ourselves about Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer is also making noises behind the scenes that he wants to run for president in 2020. So he spent $120 million trying to impeach Donald Trump so he can clear the deck so he can run.
Yeah, the problem is no one likes him.
Not to mention, by the way, that we're talking about election infractions and not really what the real issue was, which supposedly was collusion with the Russians. So,
all right. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see where it goes. 12 minutes before the top of the hour. Is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez the next Barack Obama? That's exactly what one news website is wondering, and others are jumping in.
And be on time or do time, students at one high school could soon be fined or maybe even jailed just for being late to class. So what do people on the street think? We're going to send Loose on the loose.
Yes.
Dose on the loose.
Steve is very loose. That's what he's trying to say. I wish Steve wasn't as loose. There he is.
There he is.
We have so many cameras to watch him leave.
love my grandma.
As you grow older, your brain naturally begins to change, which may cause trouble with recall.
Learning from him is great when I can keep up.
Thankfully, Prevagen helps your brain and improves memory.
Dad's got all the answers.
Prevagen is now the #1 selling brain health supplement in drugstores nationwide.
She outsmarts me every single time.
Checkmate. You want to play again?
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
If you've been turned down for a mortgage because of credit or tax return issues, Cash Call Mortgage now has credit and income-solving mortgages for people like you. Just call 855-890-CASH and we'll work with you to find a solution to your mortgage issues.
My mom washes the dishes before she puts them in the dishwasher. So what does the dishwasher do?
New Cascade Platinum does the work for you, pre-washing and removing stuck-on foods the first time.
Wow, that's clean.
New Cascade Platinum.
Tonight, Laura Ingraham is back. Powerful debate, smart opinion, and the no-holds-barred conversation you need. You don't want to miss this Ingraham Angle.
I was looking for somebody who wanted to find love.
At eHarmony, we ask you questions so that we can match you for a lasting connection.
I found my person.
I really found my true love on eHarmony.
eHarmony.com, the #1 trusted dating site. Start for free today.
It's time for the biggest sale of the year on the new Sleep Number 360 smart bed. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable. And now all beds are on sale. Save 50% on the new Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed. Only for a limited time.
Promote what makes your business great with Vistaprint. Whether it's a business card, a banner, or a postcard, we have the paper stocks, sizes, and design options to create marketing that's right for your business. Give it a try with 500 standard business cards starting at just $9.99 when you use code VP500 at Vistaprint.com.
From the time I was like 9 years old until I was probably 14, the majority of that time was spent in an orthodontist office, which is the most awkward point of anyone's life to begin with. I was right out of college and I was starting job interviews and meeting a bunch of new people, and I already noticed that my teeth were starting to shift. My parents spent all that money and it was kind of all for a waste. So when I heard of Smile Direct, I was so excited.
At Smile Direct Club, we believe everyone deserves a smile they'll love. That's why for 60% less than braces, we send invisible aligners directly to you. We straighten most smiles in an average of 6 months.
I was so excited to know that there was a company that was #1 affordable and #2 so convenient. You don't have to go to an orthodontist every month. You can go into a smile shop. They also have a kit that they can ship directly to your house. There's really no excuse to not try it.
Get your confidence back risk-free. Our Smile Guarantee ensures that if aligners aren't a good fit for you, you get your money back.
Having straight teeth is such a great feeling.
Get started at SmileDirectClub.com for as low as $80 a month.
All right, a high school in Oklahoma is cracking down on students for tardiness and missing class.
Yes, there's a state law that would let the students be fined $250 for missing class repeatedly without an excused absence. They could even be sent to jail for 15 days. We sent Steve out on the street to see how that's resonating.
That's right.
Steve, resonate.
Excuse me, there are a lot of people going to work right now. Here, let's talk to this fella right here. Hi there. Hey, excuse me, can I ask you a question? We're on channel.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so busy.
He's so busy. He's got to go to work. Okay. Let's try this guy right here. Hi there. Hey, I've got a question for you. I'm from the Fox News Channel.
Yeah.
Okay, so Muskogee, Oklahoma's high school, what they're proposing is if a student is absent 4 times in 4 weeks, they would be fined $250 or go to jail for 15 days. When I said the jail part, his eyebrows just went up like that. What do you think? What would be a good way to compel the kids to actually show up in school then? Because apparently they've got some attendance problems.
I don't know. Give them more work at home.
Oh, good. Like mow the lawn, stuff like that?
Yeah.
All right, here's a woman right here with a young person. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Are you related to her?
Yes, I am.
Are you in school?
Yeah.
Okay. What grade?
8th.
8th grade. There's a high school in Muskogee, Oklahoma, where if you are absent 4 times in 4 weeks, imagine that's your student right there. If she is, she could either want a $250 fine or go to jail for 15 days.
She could end up in jail?
Not you, her.
Well,
want to know why she was absent.
Yeah,
as her
because
mom,
you dropped her off, right?
Yeah, as her mom, I'm responsible for making sure she's at school, and I'd be pretty unhappy if she was absent.
Can you imagine if they fined you $250 for being absent 4 times?
No.
Where would you get the money? From her, right? The problem in Oklahoma, though, is a bunch of the parents say we don't have that kind of money. And apparently the students say the reason it's taking us so long and we're absent is because it's such a far distance. Sometimes it's hard to walk from one side of the building to the other side.
Really? That's interesting.
Oklahoma's a big state.
It'd be nice if they looked at some of the causes of why kids are late or absent and address that first.
Have you ever been late?
Yeah.
And what was did your mom write you an excuse?
Yeah.
What was the excuse? Any remembrance?
I made something up good, I think.
Oh, this is good. So the administrators at your daughter's school just heard you say, I made something up.
Uh-oh, good point.
You were truthful 100%.
That's right. I'm very honest.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Well, good luck to you.
Have a great day.
Thank you. And you're in where?
We're from Boston.
Good. You probably hate the Yankees.
Of course.
All right, just curious.
Go Red Sox.
All right, good enough. Well, Brian and Rachel, I got to tell you, it's kind of quiet here on the streets of New York City because it's not even 8 o'clock and people are still rushing to get to work.
Right.
Including these guys.
Right.
Hey, guys.
Was that full?
It's empty. It's the start of the day.
I hope they're not going to my office.
Morning. Morning. Have a good day.
Right.
All right.
Steve, it's like you're a flight attendant, helping people on a plane. Welcome to New York City.
The problem, Steve, the problem with that policy is if you're late and you have multiple kids, then that's like 250 times.
And you would know, Rachel, you've got a whole bunch of them.
Well, money is a motivating factor.
Yeah.
It might help. It might help at least in the tardiness.
Put it this way: if your VW van gets caught in traffic and everybody's late, you're gonna have to take out a student loan to pay it off. All right, Steve. Thanks. Sorry you're so lonely, but good job.
That's okay.
All right.
Come back inside. Come on.
All right. He's out there with the Yankee haters. Still ahead, Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi and Alan Dershowitz both here live, but separately. Plus.
Is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez the next Barack Obama? Well, that's exactly what one news website is wondering.
There you go, making me feel like a kid. Won't you do it and do it one time? There you go, pulling me right back in, right back in, right back in. And I know I'm never letting this go. I'm stuck on.
At Safe Light Auto Glass, we really pride ourselves on making it easy for you to get your windshield fixed.
Let's turn in your science papers.
This teacher always puts her students first.
I did mine over. You did? Oh, I can't wait to read it.
So when she had auto glass damage, she chose Safe Light. With Safe Light, she could see exactly when we'd be there.
You must be Pascal.
Yes, ma'am. Saving her time. So she can save the science project.